I'm 43, about to be 44 this year. I have 4 children, a husband. My life is turned down. I sit at home all day. I'm a stay-at-home mom and wife. I don't pay any bills. I don't put no gas in my car. I don't buy any food. I don't do nothing financially in this house. I'm satisfied. My husband does everything. They say, you're a woman. You need to have your own money. I got my own money. It's called shaving and saving. I got my own money, so don't worry about that. But this is the life I live. I chose it. I thank God for it. I don't have to get up every day and toss around and be hot at night, have hot flashes, wondering about how I'm going to get the light bill paid, how we going to get this paid, how we going to get that paid. My husband does it all. 100%. How y'all living y'all life? Tap down in the comments. Let me know.
I mean, and let's just be honest here. I think overall, men are not going to bash a woman who wants to be a stay-at-home mother who is able to live off of her husband. I don't think any man will ever be upset with a stay-at-home woman, a stay-at-home mother, or a quote-unquote pick-me, which was pretty much coined by your women, right? Your women call other women pick-me's. And this is kind of leads into my point that a lot of your women, it's really only your women tearing down other women who choose to be stay-at-home mothers, who choose to stay at home and cater to their man. Why? Because generally speaking, a lot of them are just bitter. A lot of them really can't flourish in their own relationships. A lot of them have a nasty attitude. A lot of them are just undesirable. Men are looking at them like, I don't want to deal with this type of woman. Don't want to deal with this type of woman because look at the type of behavior she has. Look at how she carries herself. I want me a submissive woman. I want me a woman who's going to clean up, take accountability. If I'm going to be doing if I'm paying most of the bills, if I'm going to be taking care of the house and everything, you got to be behind me, man, taking care of inside of the house. Got to make sure that the clothes are clean. Pretty much all of this extra stuff, especially if I'm providing a lifestyle for you. There's nothing wrong with catering, but only to women, when you sit here and you bring up the word being submissive, when you bring up the word catering to a man, when you bring up the word being obedient or whatever, these women get triggered. So triggered to the point, man, they hear that, they ignore everything else you're saying, and then they just stay stuck on just one single thing. There's going to be a war between women and women. Pick-me's versus your feminists. And of course, your pick-me's are going to win because that's who are the most desirable. That's who every man wants. And of course, you're going to have some guys who sit here and see a woman that is chilling in her own home and being a stay-at-home mother. They're going to be so gung-ho on, oh, well, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing more, you need to be doing that. And these are some of your guys that, in my opinion, are unrealistic and unreasonable. Right? They probably don't even care for a marriage. They are probably hard on the women.
Stay-at-home moms are literally the laziest and most whiny group of people I've ever met in my life. You have one job, to watch a child. Big deal. All the household duties that you're always whining and complaining about, you can do them in 1 hour. 1 load of dishes, 1 load of laundry. Oh my God, how hard. You can have all that done in an hour and then you have the rest of the day to watch Netflix and sit on your phones. You have a husband who wakes up early and goes to work and works hard, and then you expect him to come home and continue to do stuff that you had all day to do. It's ridiculous. The women of today are literally so spoiled and so privileged, and all they do is get online and whine and complain about how hard their lives are. Okay, I would trade places with you in an instant. Stop complaining. Were you mad? Were you ready to ream me out in the comments? Because you should have been mad, and you should have been ready to ream me out in the comments. I receive comments like that by the hundreds. Those are real examples. Those things were all said to me by a singular man on one of my videos. Those things are said to us anytime we talk about motherhood at all, especially when we talk about being a stay-at-home mom. I receive, like I said, hundreds of those comments, regardless of what the topic of my video is about. As soon as stay-at-home mom comes out of my mouth, those start rolling in. My personal experience, 90% of them are men that don't stay home with their children. 10% of them are working moms. Not saying all men feel that way, not saying all working moms feel that way. That's just been my experience of who leaves those type of comments. Here's the thing. If you have not been a stay-at-home parent, you don't get to speak on being a stay-at-home parent. You don't get to invalidate somebody's, feelings and experiences because you haven't had them. If you haven't been a working parent, you don't get to speak on working parents' thoughts, feelings, and experiences. If you haven't been a single parent, you don't get to speak on single. Do you get what I'm going with this? If you haven't had those experiences, you don't get to speak on them. If you haven't felt that way, that's great, but they did. Just because you haven't experienced something doesn't invalidate somebody else's experience. We need to do better. We need to do better for everyone, but especially for parents and especially for moms.
Guys like that generally don't flourish in relationships. Guys like that generally don't flourish in the relationships. But I think a lot of guys do have an issue with a lot of your women want to be stay-at-home mothers, but not putting forth any effort, not reciprocating any value. You do have some women that it comes down to where they have it so good, they have it so easy. You also have to blame the man as well, but they have it so easy that they can stay at home, do whatever they want to do and not reciprocate any value. And some men are going to be like, hold on, man, you need to be able to do something more than just, spread your legs every night. Your job is to attend to those kids. Your job is to attend to that man's need at every beck and call. It don't matter what you're doing. You drop whatever you're doing, man, you get right to that man. But as stated before, you say something like that, you're going to have some of your women who are upset with that. Well, mainly a lot of your women, right? They're going to be upset with that because they're going to be like, oh, well, I'm not your slave. I am not your servant. It has nothing to do with you being a servant. But these would be the same women who would want to benefit off of their man being able to provide a lifestyle for them where they can just sit on their ass and do nothing really. And most men want to be able to go out their way to go take care of their wives, go take care of their women. But like I said, in today's society, a lot of your women want to be able to do what they want to do and not be able to put forth any effort, not reciprocate any value. And you're going to have some guys who's going to see that and going to say, man, hold on, time out. Dude, you're just a liability at this point. You're not even an asset. So overall, like the lady in the first video said, what's the issue? Right? What's the issue? I'm over here. I'm doing my thing. I take care of the house. And it kind of goes to our point that a lot of your women, the man, we will always spend the man's money. But for the women, they're able to get the money and they're able to save it. Wow. But that's just the way of life. And that's just how it is. That's just the way it goes, right? That's the way it's always been. A man works, provides for the household, take care of his family. A woman stays at home. She go ahead and take whatever the man bring back home, create it into something new, create it into something or whatnot that the whole family can thrive off of. And that's how you have a functioning household. But a lot of you women today do not want that. A lot of you women today do not want that. So look, guys, do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.